a powerhouse in the paper, pulp and energy sectors with over 25 years of experience, Mr. Ajay Gupta.
Introduce smartphones for the managerial team and some simple mobile phones for the shift leaders or the employees of the organizations.
The biggest takeaway from that is like how you always have kept saying that it's about the learning, it's about growing, it's about the smaller things that you learn along the way.
So everything was very well planned and full focus was maintained in the timely commissioning of the project to get the required results in terms of the EBITDA expansion.
Hello everyone and welcome back to FaceTime with Leaders powered by Directors Institute World Council of Directors. I am your host Tanayol and today we're bringing you an exclusive conversation with a true industry veteran. We're about to delve into the world of industrial leadership, process optimization and business transformation with none other than Mr. Ajay Gupta, a powerhouse in the paper, pulp and energy sectors with over 25 years of experience. Mr. Gupta's journey is a masterclass in operational excellence, driving P&L growth, cost reduction initiatives, and ensuring compliance in some of the most complex manufacturing environments. With leadership experience across India, the APAC region, and Europe, he's truly shaped industries with his strategies and on-hands approach. From managing multi-million-dollar capital projects to overseeing large teams, he's done it all. Mr. Gupta, it's an absolute pleasure to have you with us on the show today. How have you been?
Thanks, Tanay. Thanks for such a giving good thoughts about me. So, I'm proud to be, part of this video conference today.
Pleasure is all ours, sir. Sir, with a rich and varied experience in the paper, pulp and energy sectors, I'm sure you had a few defining moments. If you could describe your career journey, how would you describe it?
Yeah, Tanay, so it started way back in 1988. I passed out from IIT Roorkee. So, kind of a fresh professional engineer in pulp and paper discipline, joining one of the major group, Nepal Limited in Bhopal. So, journey has been almost last more than 3 decades. When I say 3 decades means 1+1+1. So means every day, each month, each year, every day continuous learning and improvement program. So, started with NEPA as a professional engineer in paper and then carried out, all the sections, worked in various sections of pulp and paper discipline, integrated plant, like pulp mill, paper machines, recovery boilers, power plant, entirely the whole plant, engaging with the people, in the social environment, learned about the, each and every, sections thoroughly, and then grown to a kind of a, business focus CEO and industry leader today. So, journey has been started with NEPA, then all around almost 20 years with Blarpur Industries. They are pioneering pulp paper, and then spent 3 years in overseas through Blarpur Industries Limited at Sabah Forest Industries, Malaysia, wherein handled a kind of a large scale Capex project for capacity upgradation. Then came back to India and then handled as Chief Executive Officer of a biggest pulp and paper group, a part of CK Birla Group, Orient Paper Mills and Industries Limited. That was a kind of a, big challenge wherein, that really shaped me to a today true leader. If I to just brief you about, what has been the challenge at Orient, okay, everything has gone well, but this is a kind of very remote place, a small town called as Amlai in district of Shahdol, Madhya Pradesh. Challenges were huge. At that time, it was a kind of a struggling business. So that was a real challenge to I was hired as a turnaround kind of a strategic leader with my, having a background of pulp and paper and experience of last, almost 25 years plus. So that was the entry to the, Orient Paper Industries. And then, started with a kind of a, there was big drop in the production capacities. Okay, it was a big challenge from the, community, kind of a environment and social challenges. Moreover, EBITDA levels are, almost negative. I would say, if I have to talk specific numbers, well, minus 50 crores per annum every year. till 2014. And this mill has the biggest challenge of water scarcity. It is on the, water is being drawn from a river zone that used to get dry off in the summer months, mainly in April, May, and June. So the whole economics was disturbed. It was totally on the verge of closure. I would say it was a kind of a complete downfall of that unit. So I was hired as a CEO there in 2014. So, the biggest first part, as a kind of a leader, what I did was I tried to understand the present scenario, including all the kind of a, ecosystem at that time, involving all my customers, employees, stakeholders, means around society and everything. You have to first have a kind of a, feel of what has been going wrong there. Okay. So you maybe spend almost, kind of a month in inducting myself in that environment and, being accepted as a CEO of that organization. That was the most important. So, then, it's what a kind of a thing was, big communication gap was there. I found that, people are not communicating with each other. So all of a sudden, that things, got a challenge for me. So I introduced smartphones for the managerial team and some simple mobile phones for the, shift leaders or the employees of the organization. So that I first of all told them start communicating, whether it is wrong or right, but just start communicating. So everything gone well. Gradually, we focus mainly now on the, improving the capacity utilization by motivating the team, followed by the new product development. Because at that time, challenge was mill was struggling for a product life cycle was over almost. So we developed a high-bright pulp, high-bright papers, followed by the EBITDA expansion. So that gradually, in 2 years' time, it yielded a good results. Followed by the next challenge was taken, for the water. So I built up a, along with the team, the RCC barrage was built with the manual dams. That part was risk was also covered. And then we, upgraded our, pulp mill and recovery cycle for the circular economy. It's all gone well. And then next 2 years, I was proud to, along with the team, it was a kind of a full team involvement where we deliver EBITDA level of almost 180 crores. So it was a kind of a, journey from 4 years, from minus 50 crores to a turnaround of a 180 crores. So that was very exciting journey. So just to brief you. So this was up to, that Orient Paper Mills, which
Yes.
has really shaped me a true leader today.
Yeah, and I mean, the biggest takeaway from that is like how you always have kept saying that it's about the learning, it's about growing, it's about the smaller things that you learn along the way. And it's lovely to see someone so experienced still with that mindset. I think that's a big learning for the youth today.
Yeah, thanks.
Sir, you've overseen major capital projects like upgrading pulp mills and commissioning new paper machines. One of your highlights includes increasing the plant's production capacity through strategic updates. What was the most challenging aspect of leading such large-scale capital projects, and what leadership strategies did you employ to ensure their success?
Great. So see, this has been one of my, main result relevance kind of a, shaping me as a leader. I handled large scale project in multiple places, but specifically I will talk about the Saba forest industries. Okay. So that was a kind of a, environment was quite challenging in terms of the engineering capabilities, complexities, political sensitivity because of multinational environment. Okay. And then, even the financial stress, the financial pressure, cash flow, everything was handled there. And the plant capacity was almost to be doubled. From 1,20,000 tons per annum, it was supposed to be 2,40,000 tons per annum with a strategic guidelines of forward integration to supply the pulp being manufactured there to one of the Indian units in Maharashtra. So that was a kind of wherein, it was a very clear-cut, strategy from my side to handle such a, complex environment. I decided to basically lay down this into a dual-fold kind of a governance procedure. One team was dedicated for a project and design and engineering, execution, commissioning, and making the schedule, even the vendor interface. on other side, keeping a focus on the business, business kind of, even the cash flows, capital, everything linking with the, banks, investors, and keeping a track of the, cash flow timely. So it was kind of a, full team was executed and the war room were created, wherein all the deadlines were being tracked with the actual versus Capex plan, mechanical completion percentage, even the cold percentage completion, hot percentage completion, everything, was followed along with the basically to ensure that the liquidity is protected while, commissioning part is done timely with a follow up of the stabilization. So everything was very well planned and full focus was maintained in the timely commissioning of the project to get the required results in terms of the EBITDA expansion. The main focus was, if I have to just say about the Sava forest was, everything was, very clear in the mind how to control the cash and how to fund the project. Because, normally these kind of a capital projects are not the basically a kind of a asset buildup. It's a kind of a business investment where you are looking forward to generate a sustainable cash flow to deliver that kind of a EBITDA results. So that was in mind. So everything has gone very well in taking along the team in such a complex environment where you have to handle all stakeholders like government, unions, even the forest licenses, even the power controls, even, local communities. It's a kind of a, very, cultural challenge it was there. But, with the team, engaging with the people, timely communicating to them the right, kind of a result deliverance which is required. So it was handled beautifully there.
Yeah, planning and foresight is something that as soon as you go into new areas, that really, like you said, so many factors to, work at.
It's
If you don't
quite challenging.
plan, you will never get there.
Sure.
Sir, you've also been at the forefront of driving operational efficiency and cost reduction initiatives. For instance, at Trident Limited, you spearheaded cost saving projects that led to a significant turnaround in profitability. Can you walk us through one such initiative and the challenges you faced in it, and what results did you finally achieve?
Yeah. See, Trident, it was another kind of a, very successful journey in terms of the leadership, wherein basically it was more of a cost leadership and operational efficiency again. So here what we did is I basically divided into, three main pillars, if I have to say. First was, energy optimization. Second was fiber yield and achievement. Okay. And then the third was basically to reduce the working capital cycle. So in that case, we invested in one of the equipment which basically helped us in increasing the capacity by around 12,000 tons per annum, which followed with the backward integration with the pulp mill capacity enhancement by accordingly same amount. And then the biomass generation, which has really given a circular economy kind of a thing, means the more you fire the biomass, that there is a reduction in the fossil fuel consumption. So that's kind of a 33% rise of a kind of a energy enhancement which came from the biomass firing, which is a non-renewable energy. Okay. So basically, so you were basically reducing that equivalent amount of fuel from the cost inputs. So at that time, the major challenge was volume were growing, but EBITDA margins were reducing. So the culture, basically it's more of a less of a technical, more of a cultural. People, take the safe custody and they produce more. So they are not bothered about that cost. So what I did was basically bringing the people on the shop floor, making them aware about the shop floor versus, cost efficiency control. So that kind of an environment was built, and where we aligned little bit of a technical upgradation, technology upgradation, and then involving everyone to understand this fact and brought down that kind of a level where in a period of 12 months, we achieved basically variable cost of reduction by 10%, which was a kind of a huge reduction in that time. And then reducing the WIP and slow moving product was aligned with the production planning and control. And that gives us a, working capital release. So it was a kind of a threefold kind of a focus involving the team. and finally resulting that kind of a EBITDA increase which has happened in Thailand. So it was a
Yeah.
major initiative, done there.
Yeah, I mean, which probably would have, like you said, got about change in culture most importantly, in thought, in ideology, and then everything flows.
Yes.
Sir, a significant part of your work has been around improving plant service quality and equipment reliability by adopting methodologies like PQC DSEM. Could you provide an example of how this approach directly benefited the operational efficiency of a plant you managed?
Yeah. So again, this was very well implemented at Orient Paper Industries Limited. Okay, wherein I told you that journey was initially from a fall to a rise, and then rise to the kind of a stabilization of the plant. Along whole team was made aware about this PQC SDM kind of a concept, and each pillar of this concept was debated amongst the team. I found a kind of a cross-functional team were formed, who were taking care of the various functions, and then everyone was made aware about the productivity, quality, customer focus. In any case, there was a complete paradigm shift from a product oriented to the customer orientation. Okay, that was a major call which I have to take there. No more it was a trend that you can sell whatever you produce. It was more what customer orientation is there. We have to focus more on the customer requirements. So that kind of a paradigm shift was there, and this concept of PQC SDM has really paid me very well.
Lovely, sir. Sir, now it's time for a very own rapid fire round. A few quick questions, and all we request you are quick answers. So, are you ready?
Yeah, great, go ahead.
Lovely. What's your go-to power snack?
Oh, it's almonds and walnuts.
Lovely. If you could switch jobs with anyone for a day, who would it be?
I would prefer to be a kind of a this AI analytic.
Nice. What's the one thing you've learned in business that's also applicable to your home life?
Humility.
If you had to pick one song, sir, which is an all-time favorite, which one would it be?
तुम देना साथ मेरा.
Lovely. If you had to write a book, sir, what would the title be?
Positive thinking.
Nice. What's the first thing you do when you wake up in the morning?
Drink a glass of water.
What's your ultimate comfort food after a long day?
Ah, pav bhaji.
Ah, nice. If you could have dinner with any historical figure, who would it be?
Jaspal Bhatti.
Nice. What's one hobby or activity you absolutely cannot live without?
Watching cricket.
Nice. The match is on, sir. If you could teleport anywhere in the world right now, where would you go?
Switzerland.
Nice. Thank you, sir. That was one of the greatest rapid fire we've had. So thank you so much for that. Quick and
Yes.
fast.
Same here. Thanks.
Now back to the slightly more serious question, sir. Sir, every industry has its wake-up calls, right? Moments when a major scandal or governance lapse forces everyone to look in the mirror. We've seen corporate frauds and accounting missteps shake global confidence in finance and markets. When you look at some of these episodes, whether it was Enron, Satyam, or even more recent governance breakdowns, what stands out to you the most as the real reason for today's leaders? Real lesson, rather, for today's leaders.
See, I would say, as a leader, first of all is, even CEO's role or leadership role. The main thing is corporate governance. You have to be, kind of a very particular about the, governance part while, this, even whether when we talk of Satyam, whether we talk of Enron, these are the main scandal which has happened because of the complete, normally a listed company will have an audit committee, you know, the CSR committees, all those things are there. So, even at senior leadership level, everything has to be, taken on priority. Beside this, when you grow as a leader, it's more of it. 80% time is more on the corporate governance instead of that spending that time in the, seeing the management of the team, how the teams are handling and taking care of all the risk part of that,
Yeah.
When we say there are financial risk, environment risk, all those things are there. So, people, I would say it's more of to be, you should be as a CEO, as a leader, you should be fully aware of the, these kind of a governance practices. When as a CEO, your role is to point out and discuss with the your superior, directors of the company, to take care of that areas quite well.
Yeah, yeah, very well said, sir.
Yeah. So I would say it's more of a governance part.
Yeah, yeah. Especially as you grow higher in the ladder, that's the bigger responsibility that comes.
Yeah.
So you've recently become associate with Directors Institute. We would love to know what inspired you to join this prestigious organization and how has your experience with DI shaped or enhanced your perspective on leadership, governance, and decision making at the executive level.
So first of all, is to answer is it's on a 0 to 10 scale. I would say I am at a scale of 9 now. Okay. It has truly, joining a director institute is very well programmed, very well clear cut decision making. I want to now adopt a role of an independent director in any of the reputed organizations. So that was very clear. So I basically get in touch with DI. So I got a right kind of a inputs. So I adopted for a ACDP course. Okay, that was kind of a course I've gone, and I'm proud to inform you that I've cleared all that independent director program with a certification received today. ESG modules, everything is clear. BRSR reporting, and even that AI and business analytics. Okay.
Lovely.
So now only left is my digital director program. So coming back to your query is, I'm really thankful to the team of Director Institute, including Dr. Hevel Mehta, Mr. Jishan, Mr. Lavlesh, and Mr. Gansham. All the team members, they have been very kind enough to provide all the. It's a very well structured program, very well made for any kind of a lay person or a kind of senior leadership person who wants to adopt this course and then clarify this clear for a certified independent director program. So today I feel honored to be being a part of that institute, and then that has really shaped me to understand complete kind of a boardroom kind of environment. So wherein if I entered some of the organization as an independent director, so I am very clear, I am totally updated on what will be my role and how I will play that role in that environment, boardroom environment.
Lovely, sir. Thank you so much for those kind words, sir. And this has been a supremely insightful conversation from leading transformative projects to navigating the complexities of governance and decision making. Your journey, sir, truly exemplifies leadership with purpose, vision, and integrity. And what really stood out to me today is how you've shown us that leadership isn't just about making the right decisions, it's about so much more, like guiding people, managing change, and staying true to your values and building the right culture, like you said, sir. So, thank you so much for that.
Thanks, Tanay. It was great having an interaction with you. I think thanks for your kind words.
Lovely. To our audience, thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of FaceTime with Leaders, powered by Directors Institute World Council of Directors. I'm Taneol, and to everyone listening, until next time, stay curious, keep learning, lead with integrity, and of course, always have fun in your journey. Thank you so much.